Hello and welcome back to DreamHack London. Joining me in the studio, one of the winning players from that last game, it is Reedy. Reedy, first of all, how are you feeling today?
Feeling today pretty good about the event. Come here to get the W. If we don't win, going to be very upset. We've won the last 3 majors in Europe, so we're here for one job only, and that's to win the event. So.
Well, super confident. I mean, are you still that confident after having a roster change?
Yeah, of course. Mad Cat and well, I wasn't even in the team, so for the event just gone, I picked up for Mill. Came in for Reach because he had problems with him within the team. Won that event pretty easily, to be honest. So Dill and Joe are great players, but Moose is a fantastic player in his own right. Rated's unreal. Got to go as his own player and left unreal as well. So yeah.
Okay, well, there have been a few questions actually about your squad, and I kind of want to ask you from being inside the team's perspective and your opinion on it, because your opinion probably counts more since you have to play with these players here. I want to first talk about Moose here, and like I said, there have been some kind of discussions around his level of ability at the moment, and is he as good as he used to be, and how have you found playing with him? What is your thoughts on him?
Moose, he's a brilliant player. I literally don't understand what happened in TCM. Like, the players he must have been playing with must have been brain dead, because let's be alright, Aches and TP are world champions, but he's much better than them. I literally don't care. He should not have been released or whatever happened within that team. So playing with Moose he's a great talent. Enjoy playing with him. He was unreal on Ghost. He's unreal in this game. He's going to be even better on Black Ops 3.
Okay, and the other one I want to speak about was Rated. Now he's taken a little bit of a sabbatical, we'll call it. But you two seem to kind of like star-crossed lovers. You always end up teaming again.
Mm-hmm. Me and Reese have been teaming since Ghost. Our first bit of success was EGL 13, came second, and then ever since then it's just gone upwards. So yeah, one of my best teammates. I love playing with him.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, you got anything to add to ask him?
I mean, just going off the back of that series we just saw, though, then it was a clean 3-0 sweep, but I would say closer than we expected watching it. Is this something that you feel was your downfall or credit to Nexium? Credit
to Nexium. People always banter Rez about being bad. Rez is actually a good player. Like, he's not that bad.
Don't tell him that.
No, he has to get credit somewhere because everyone just abuses him. But yeah, he's an actual good player. He's playing with L, who's an old S&D player. Been playing since Squad 4. He's a very good player. Cambo's good, and Rai is pretty good as well. So they're a good team. Like, obviously, we came in its first game. We've not played in a couple of days. We've been in Paris and stuff, so we didn't really get much time to play. But yeah, it's the first game on, pretty comfortable, but then again, it was a bit shaky at the same time.
Okay. The one thing I'd say is, coming into this tournament, obviously very confident getting the first place. That's what you want. You've done so well in the last 3 majors, like you said. Who do you think is your biggest rival, and is there any particular underdog to this team, to this tournament, sorry?
Right, so the biggest rival would have to be Vitality, for the simple fact that Mad Cat and Joe left. Got to go around Reese. Underdog, I'm going to say VWS. I give them banter. I don't really think, like, on LAN they're as good as they are online, but they are a good team. So when it comes down to it, I feel they're a good team. They're going to be the underdog for this event.
Okay, so that kind of leads on to my next question. First of all, that rivalship versus Vitality here. It is a very strong rival. The Orgs have been rivals for quite a long time here. Are you excited to get a chance to play them on LAN at this event?
Yeah, I love playing people that I'm good friends with, like me and Dylan are close friends. Joe, very good friend. Like, when it comes down to it, when it comes to crunch time, I love playing like big matches like that at events, because that's what we play for. We play for the competition, and they're our best competition at this event. So.
Okay, fair enough. The last question before I'm going to let you go and kind of celebrate your win is, the next game coming up will be Nexium versus Infused. Can you give us a prediction for that one?
Nexium 3-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, hot 3-0 there from Reedy. Okay, Reedy, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us after your game. We're going to allow you to come take your headset off and leave and go chill with your team. We are going to take a quick look at the groups now to see how it's played out so far in this tournament, and the rest of the schedule will come as well. Now, obviously, what you can see there is it will be Millennium with the first point on the board against Nexium. So there you go, early lead. It's kind of what we're expecting, rather, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, we were always backing Millennium to take that. As we said, it was a close 3-0 series, but a 3-0 series nonetheless. Coming into this next game now, Infused against Nexium, it's a bold prediction, actually, I would say, from Reedy there, because I think
there's a reason behind that prediction.
Maybe so, but I mean, with that said, I've always said Nexium are a strong team and very underrated, but me personally, I think Infused will take it. That would be my.
Yeah, I think what that actually aspirates to is not this game, but the next game that comes up here. Millennium Infused, there is some bad blood in that relationship. There is a rivalry there. We'll get on to that as it kind of comes to it here. But let's talk about this game first of all. Nexium versus Infused. Reedy has predicted 3 over Nexium. Like I said, there are reasons behind that we'll go into. But your feelings, Momo. Like I said, there are some players here that you're very familiar with.
I think Infused, you've got to look at the roster, you've got to look at the talent on that compared to Nexium, and you'd always favour Infused. Yeah. However, we've just seen Nexium play, they're warmed up, they're ready to go, they've had a good performance against Millennium, despite the 3-0, they were going into this game, I'd say quite confident, really. But I do disagree with Reedy. I've got to say Millennium will take it, Infused will take it, but I would like to see a lot closer in the hard points. I would like to see a lot closer in all the game modes, but I think Nexium might take a map on this one. I'd say 3-1 to Infused.
All right, well, let's take a quick look at the teams then, because these two teams, although we have seen Nexium before, we will go over them again, but they are going up against Infused. So here we go. Let's talk about Nexium.
Nexium, obviously, Riri, one of the standout plays from that previous game, even though, like we said, 3-0 went down. He's warmed up. This is probably the biggest stage he's played at, maybe.
I'd say so.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he's brought this. He's not fell under the pressure. He knows he's a bit of an underdog. Excited to see him in this next game.
Yeah, and this team, as well as we kind of sweep through them, they have stuck together. I think that's something quite important to remember as well. So the chemistry is there. Going on to L there, who's my one to watch, I suppose, for Nexium. Certainly, in my opinion, as an individual, the strongest player within the lineup. But of course, that's going to be taken on its own merit because Call of Duty is, of course, a very team-based game. Team-based game. You can't just have one player that's kind of carrying the rest of you. It'll never work out that way when you're going up against such fierce competition.
Absolutely. And moving on to the man, well, probably not a man, it is Rez. Did very, very well in his previous game. I'd say, like I said previously, a bit of a leader with Cambo.
Really gave him a lot of credit there.
Yeah, and I think he's well deserved because he's playing against the best of the best in Europe, and he wasn't going double negative. He wasn't, dropping ridiculously neg bombs, if you like.
He's not
a bad player. Not a bad player.
Being perfectly candid about Rez, he does seem to have some sort of talent. He just happens to be the person that people love to hate.
It's very difficult because Rez, I think he almost welcomes it. He almost invites it in, so he does enjoy it. So, but yes, just finishing off the lineup here is, of course, Cambo, who we know is a strong player. We've seen him at many events now. Never kind of pushes right through to the first place finishes, but is always lingering around that top 8 mark. So Nexium, whilst I'm not putting them down as champions coming into this event, certainly a team to be watching out for. And as Reedy said, Reedy predicting a 3-0 sweep against Infused kind of is testament to how good he feels they are.
Yeah,
well,
and I was just about to say, Cambo actually coached Infused at one of the last events, so maybe a bit of inside intel.
Well, speaking of Infused, there's going to be PD on your screen. That's not PD, though.
That is actually Urban, is it? No, I can't even tell. But yeah, the PD confusing me there. I was thinking, PD's got a haircut. What's going on? I mean, I teamed with PD for a long time, and that is definitely not him. No. However, going through this Infused lineup, bit of a mismatch. Maybe, like you said, a bit of people who's been dropped. 0 for Epsilon.
This is the man.
Marky B for many organisations. Obviously has been released on many times, but he's always come back fighting strong. That's why I love Marky B, because he's a fighter.
Yeah, he's one of the most prevalent faces of European Call of Duty. Whether or not to his detractors, they kind of give him the credit for it, but you have to admit, one of the most popular figures internationally. And when you name, if you're a casual watcher of this, he is one of the names that will be uttering from your lips.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a professional in every sense of the word there, and is a real good leader in any team that he finds himself is. But here we go with Urban now. And,
that's Urban.
Yes, that's Urban. So Urban, formerly of Vitality, actually teaming with PT once again now, as he finds himself on the Infused roster, uniting with Marky B from previously Infused and 0 from Epsilon. So Urban, I mean, a big standout player for me, and I don't want to say he's a newcomer because he's certainly been performing well in a lot of recent lands, but I suppose Advanced Warfare has been his game. This is where he's really shone for me.
Yeah, I mean, teaming with the likes of Tommy and under Vitality previously, really haven't been given a chance. He's been with PT as well. He's come into his own, like you said. Advanced Warfare has been his time to shine, and obviously coming to the end of the game now. He's got to progress into a new game and show that he's just not a one-game wonder.
And completing this lineup is, of course, PT, a good friend of both yours and mine, Mo, teamed with you in the past as well, so you've got a lot of experience playing with him. You know how he plays, and I think the standout feature of PT that separates him from the rest is his ability to go lone wolf, largely on the search and destroys. It can either win them the game or lose them the game, so it's always a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just a player in his own right, where probably from about 2 years ago now, he's just been known as this kind of crazy guy who just goes off on his own, puts huge numbers up. Yeah. or on Search and Destroy, potentially may go 0 and 7.
Yeah, it goes one of two ways with Petey, but fortunately for him, he's surrounded himself with players that can support him in his aggressive attacks, and I think this is where he's going to really stand out. I think this team actually works well around Petey.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I want to quickly talk about here is actually Nexium. And the reason I was talking about him is that we just watched their game. We've just gone over their entire lineup. I want to kind of who underperformed in your eyes and who needs to step it up and who was a strong player already.
So, I mean, for me, looking at Nexium, I was more focusing on the people who were performing well, and one person that I didn't find myself talking too much about was Cambo. So it's not to necessarily say he did bad, because I can't say that about Nexium, because even though it was a 3-0 sweep, they all played well against Millennium. You've got to remember that's who they were facing up against. But I think Cambo's going to need to step it up for his team if they want to take the victory here against Infused.
See, I think Cambo just played quite consistent, which is never a bad thing. You know, he's always there, he's got your back. Yes, it was against Millennium. I'd say Rui just needs to continue what he's doing. Cambo, I would say continue. I'd say, if anything, I want to see the res factor come out.
Okay, the res factor.
I want him to come. I want him to go positive. I want him to do something huge. I want him to start screaming and shouting, and just really getting his team hyped.
I think for me, for Nexium, there wasn't particularly any huge standout players for both good and bad reasons. They all kind of consistently played roughly the same, so it's hard to kind of draw anything out of that. But we've highlighted the ones to watch, I suppose, in that respect.
You most certainly have. Well, without much further ado, we are going to hand it over to the casters to get this game underway. It is Nexium versus Infused.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. DreamHack London in the CopperBox Arena. What a fantastic place. My first time here. I know you've been here before, Rel. Don't rub it in too much. However, what a great game we've got it in for us. Nexium, we've already seen perform already, up against Infused.
Yes, and as we say, just to go back to that bold statement from Reedy earlier, who's just defeated Nexium 3-0, he's predicting that they will wipe Infused on a 3-0 clean sweep. So, I mean, he's aware of how good Nexium are, but I don't know if he's trying to tarnish the Infused reputation here, because both yourself and I agree that this should be a close game.
Yes.
But I think we're both backing Infused. I think it's going to be 3-2. I think you said 3-1 earlier.
Yeah, I said 3-1. To be honest, I'd be quite disappointed if it wasn't 3-0, because I think Infused should close out 3-0, but I think Nexium are just going to steal a map.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to steal 2, and I definitely don't think they'll be able to steal 3. However, if Reedy's right, then maybe you should be doing my job.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to make an even further in-depth prediction here. I think Nexium are going to take both of the hard points. So that's the reason that I'm giving them the 2 maps. I think they'll drop the Search and Destroys, they'll drop the uplinks, but the hard points will be theirs. They were so dominant for the first part of the hard point against Millennium. Considering who they were up against, I've got to say, very impressive.
Now, I am jumping on board here with Trey, otherwise known as Zero, purely because of the fact that I have seen some ridiculous online plays from this guy, and I want to see what he can do on land. No pressure to you, Trey. However, Urban and Marky B and Petey, everyone but Trey, performing amazing so far, and 10 points go in favor of Infused.
Oh yeah, I mean, Petey's found himself right in this Atlas Cube straight away, and you can see him just opening fire, trying to stay alive. Riri finds 2 though, and you can see Zero now. This is absolute carnage around the first hardpoint area. I was very surprised actually to see Infused actually storm into that so quickly and get dominance. As I said, I thought Nexium would open up slightly stronger, but great play there from the Infused boys.
And for you guys at home, do not be confused. Urban, PT, ex-Vitality members.
Almost said Vitality myself when I was casting there, yeah.
A Zero as well, an ex-Epsilon player, all combining here to come under the organization Infused. Absolute work right now. 31-5 here for Infused.
Yes, and it is Zero who's still in that hardpoint area, just venturing off now as we are going to go to the switch onto the second hardpoint. This, of course, being in green, and you can see straight away now Riri's found himself in there with 3 captures under his belt already, doing some great objective work for his team. You were saying we want to see the res factor though here, Momo.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're not seeing that at all. Currently 2 and 4, double negative for his team. However, jumping on board with him, 2 frags go into the middle. He's going to try and make 1 kill, does do, picks up the second. He's going to go in from the side entrance here. It looks like he's going to get control via that. Does unfortunately get taken down. However, L teammate takes control.
Oh yeah, Rez was kind of praying and spraying there. You know, he didn't really know where the enemy was in the hardpoint area, but off the back of a two-piece, I think he was getting a little bit hyped. Not a great start for Nexium at all, though. Infused doing absolutely brilliantly. And look at Urban, 10 kills and only 2 deaths still around that hardpoint. In a great position to find more. He finds another 2. That's 12 and 2 now, a 6-kill death ratio.
Yeah, he's going absolutely off. And this is, you know, quite a surprising factor for me. Urban's one of those more kind of sit-back reserve players, but looks like he's taking a different role here in the Infused squad. Really leading it, 12 and 2 though. Cannot fault him at all. 2 hard points, 2 deaths gone. 8 minutes left on the clock. He's going into Garage. He's going to make another kill. No, he's not.
He almost found it.
I know.
But he does go down 13 to 3. Nexium now on the hardpoint area, trying to rack up some points, and they've got to soak up as much time as they can here. They're really struggling against Infused.
Absolutely. Cambo, I mean, I know you said Relly was one that needed to step it up, and right now he does. He's currently 6 and 12. Urban 14 and 3, however, look at Trey, also known as Zero. If you guys at home, this may be, you know, a new player that you haven't seen too much of. However, ex-Epsilon member was given his real first chance there at the previous tournament. Now coming in here at the DreamHack London to prove a point and potentially win the tournament.
Yeah, he does go down though in that hard point. And as you say, we see a lot of time, usually posted over social media, some huge scoreboard figures by him. And sometimes he does get tarnished with the online player tag. Yeah. But he's stepping it up here. I mean, 12 to 8, that's not bad going at all, considering the level of competition here at this event. Rez, though, is the man we're watching get shut down straight away. We can see this great lockdown by Infused. Urban still dominating with that SMG. Finally does go down in yellow.
Yeah, it does get taken down. Again, it's Riri. I said it before, the last hardpoint that he played against Millennium, he was on fire. He's currently 15 and 11, and against a team like Infused, that is incredible. He needs to keep up doing exactly what he's doing, but his team needs to follow in his footsteps and step it up.
Well, Infused looking to close this out as soon as possible. You can see a huge scoreline difference now. Infused over double the points of Nexium, and they're really feeling it. So Reedy's prediction may be thrown right out of the window unless Nexium can really step things up here. Rez still alive in that hardpoint, gets shut down straight away though by Zero. Urban floods in as well, and once again, this hardpoint's going to go in Infused control.
Absolutely. Looking at that mini-map as well. With only 12 seconds left, you're going to see the rotation, and it looks like Marky B is the first one there. Oh, sorry, Marky B's still on this one.
The old one.
The first one there is that's going to go against a gunfight, but Urban is going to take control of that. Looks like L for Nexium there, trying to battle it out. Does come off the better with teammate Rez, takes down Marky B.
And Urban keeps doing this. I mean, he finds himself at the hardpoint area and he just kind of goes prone, just on the edge of it, waits for the enemy to flood in, then he'll go for the push and find himself a nice little corner to tuck away in. And that's exactly what he's doing now, and you can see it's working for them. Nexium don't really know how to break this, and it's really going to cost them.
Absolutely. 134 to 56 is a score currently. Only 5 minutes 30 left on the clock, and it is looking very, very strong for the guys on Infused here. 21 and 12. Zero is really proving me wrong and doing exactly what he does online. Nearly double positive, along with teammate Urban as well.
Well, it's still Infused dominating here. I mean, I keep just flicking my eyes towards this the statistics in the top right corner, and you can kind of see the capture little symbol there always being on Infused. They're constantly in the hard point. They're going to get the final 10 seconds here. There's not much Nexium can do. You know, Nexium can only really set up around Atlas Cube. Yeah,
so Rel, you said Nexium were going to take these 2 hard points. I don't think you could be further afield or be more wrong, which always pleases me.
Yeah, I know. You can say it. But, you know, my predictions are sometimes terrible. I mean, but that was purely based off how well we performed against Millennium, and this is something that we have to consider now. Given that we've seen such a strong hardpoint side, don't get me wrong, it's not over at all yet. Nexium could get back into this, but if this continues and Infused really do shut down Nexium here, Infused have performed better on the hardpoint than Millennium have.
You know, technically, yes, it's a different map. It's a different kind of you know, way of playing the game, if you like. But I do think Millennium, I think they almost started a bit slow against Nexium. But like Reedy said, credit to Nexium. However, currently on your screens, you have Infused versus Nexium, 175 to 84, 4 minutes 10 left on the clock. And it looks like Infused are just going away with this. You know, nearly a 100-point lead here.
Infused are just absolutely crushing Nexium here. I mean, Nexium should be able to escape that 100-point club. We can see Al actually fighting back. And as we say, we've got to stress the point, this isn't over by any means. It's just such a significant lead now. 70-point difference here. And as every second ticks away, it just gets better and better for Infused, who are trying to stamp down their authority once more. However, Nexium are set up in this hardpoint.
Absolutely. There's 45 seconds left, and they need every single point to be in with a shot here. Rest is doing everything they can. Currently 18 and 24. Gets taken down. Riri, star player, of Nexium for myself. Jumping on board with him, does take down one. Isn't going to go for the kill on that second, he's going more for the breach, but he goes for the double back on himself there, but does get taken down.
And now with Cambo going for the sweep around, still time left on the clock for Nexium to get back into this. This is really good work from them. They are trying to claw this back, but I just feel it's too little too late. You can see that the point difference getting narrower and narrower, but that 250 mark is going to be approaching very rapidly for Infused soon.
Yeah, and I hate to do this. I hate to kind of call it out, but Cambo really needs to join his team and, you know, step it up a little bit, because when you're playing against the like of Marky B going unnoticed throughout the game, 32 and 18, this guy's going off right now.
Yeah, and let's see a little bit more of Marky, because as you say, that's a phenomenal kill to death ratio. We'll get the exact figures when the game finishes if he can maintain this performance, but Marky really proving a point here and sending out a message. You know, when we actually look at the group stages here, Momo, and look who these teams have got to go up against, Infused are going to be facing Millennium soon. Now, Reed's kind of called out against Infused. They said they're going to get sweep 3-0.
Yeah.
They're going to meet, and Marky is going to really want to prove a point, because, as we say, there's always that little bit of drama, I suppose, between the players.
Yeah, definitely. I think Marky B always finds himself in the middle somehow. I know coming up against, you know, a team like Millennium, which he will be doing soon, he's represented the organization previously. He's teamed with pretty much all the players on there. So, yeah, a definite rival match, which we'll be seeing soon. However, 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left on the clock. I've got to say, Nexium are slowly crawling back into this. Yeah. I mean, a 60-70 point, you know, game at the moment. There's plenty of time to do it. However, you know, with the likes of Marky B currently 36 and 21, it's going to be very difficult to do.
They're hanging in there, but it's just not enough. And I can see Infused closing this out with the 250 point mark as well. Nexium have set up, they need to get every single point on this yellow hard point, and they could really have a fight on their hands. But again, we just see Infused push in. Zero doing some great work. I mean, really silencing the critics, I suppose, with those 35 kills, only 26 deaths, but 10 captures as well. Top of the leaderboard for his team.
Yeah, the only one surprising myself is PT currently. You know, he's not got as many captures as he usually does, not got as many kills as he does. But when you've got the 3 on the team like that, it is going to be harder to do so. However, this lead is getting further and further afield. Marky with another 3-piece. This guy is, honestly, he's having, you know, a game of his life at the moment. He's just hit his 40 bomb. Minute left on the clock. Potentially we'll see the first 50 of the tournament. However, getting the last 20 seconds on the hill for his team. With only 20 seconds left, he needs to finish this off. I'm sure Infused are wanting to finish it with a 250.
Yeah, and Mark is just making this look very, very easy indeed. With 43 kills, that's an incredible performance from him. 5 seconds left on this hard point. It looks like Nexium are going to get those remaining points. But as we say, Momo, this game is mathematically over. Infused are going to take it. They are going to see it through, though. Cambo still desperate to try and reduce that deficit. But Infused just looking to close this out with 10 more points.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to watch. I mean, you know, a team like Nexium, which, you know, have so much promise almost, you know, coming into this and just falling short both times. I'm sure they will bounce back. I'm sure they'll come back stronger. But I've got to say for myself, you know, looking at Rez for this game there, you know, pretty much neutral, 13 captures to his name. This guy is a good player. Yeah,
he's done great. And I don't want to take anything away from Nexium here, because this is the different story that we're seeing now from what we saw when they played against Millennium. It's a similar kind of final scoreline, and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. But beforehand, congratulations there to Infused, who see the first map against Nexium. Great start from them. Nexium, though, that's now 4 maps back-to-back that they have lost, and that's going to be really disheartening for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see just by looking across the board, Infused, I mean, PT there just getting a bit frustrated with himself, and I know that firsthand. You know, he's not had the best games, you know, single-handedly there. Marky pretty much getting double the amount of kills he got, and also 10 less deaths. However, going into this second map, Search and Destroy, it will be on recovery.
Yes.
Now, I want to jump on board with PD straight away, purely because he's the first blood king, or is the first death king, if you like. So, going to be interesting to see what he can do. However, Rez put in a solid performance there. Riri put a solid performance. L as well, very consistent. Cambo, I'm really, really wanting to. He's a player that I want him to do well, but he needs to step it up. And last time in the Search and Destroy, he did pretty well.
So let me talk a little bit more about what I was saying earlier in terms of the point difference. So we were kind of stressing the fact that Infused were dominating that game, right? So they were on top for the majority of the time. So this is the difference from when we saw Nexium play against Millennium, because Nexium and Millennium were head-to-head for maybe 6-7 minutes, and then Millennium strode ahead. The difference here was Infused got the early lead and just held on to it. So the actual point difference in the end, it was plus 58 for Millennium against Nexium, plus 72 for Infused against Nexium, which isn't all that much, really.
No,
so,
not at all.
As much as we were kind of saying, you know, Infused are having this amazing game, they're really proving themselves to be the stronger hardpoint team, not the case at all.
No. And going into Search and Destroy, such a different game mode than the hardpoint very rush. You're making a kill or dying probably, once every 5-10 seconds. Search and Destroy is the complete opposite. You will be sat back, you'll be more reserved, and it just kind of takes, from one extreme to the other in these game modes. But it's going to be interesting to see. But we will jump into the game. Search and Destroy on recovery. Infused versus Nexium. On your screen there, you can see fist bumps all around there. Dinge leading the squad for Infused.
Oh yeah, and Dinge making an appearance as well, and that's a real benefit to any team. You can't help but feel anything that Dinge touches turns to gold in terms of teams. He really does just have this positive influence on it. He's the hype man, and we've kind of spoke about the fact how I feel in the following Call of Duty, coaches are going to be a bigger factor as well. There's a lot more studying, a lot more things that need to take place, but of course we have many discussions to come around that. For now, it is all about Advanced Warfare, as we have a few more tournaments left. And for this year, this being one of the major ones here, of course, it being DreamHack London 2015 in the CopperBox Arena. Very, very exciting times. We want to get on board with the attacking side, and we want to start with, well, actually, do you know what? I just want to quickly check. We haven't got any sniper rifles on point. No, we've not. We want to check with Rez. We want to see what he's going to be up to here.
Let's see what he can do. Looks like a very strong push towards the A-bomb site. However, also a very strong push from Marky B, kicking off with 2 kills himself. And they're going to answer back. It's going to be a 2v2, Marky and Zero versus Cambo and L. Looks like Zero only one of the players out of the 4 still alive not to get a kill as of yet. But Cambo very progressed up the map at the moment, nearly in the base of Infused, if you were so to speak, and it is going to be gunfire going down. Grenade comes in, Zero getting his first kill, L answering back. This is a 1 versus 1. Marky B for the 3 kills for his team. L also in the same position, could potentially pick up 3.
Oh, yeah.
All down to this 1 versus 1.
Who's going to be the standout player? Just getting a little look where both these players, they're going to come head-to-head, Momo. It's all going to come down to this gunfight. They haven't seen each other yet. Oh, and it's really unfortunate timing there for L. I don't know if Marky B did spot him, and Marky's going to get the kill.
Yeah, I think Marky saw him go into the building, so it's pretty much a clinical finish there. Obviously coming out of it, he was just pre-aiming it, he knew where he was, and there it is. Marky B picking up 3 kills in the first round of Search and Destroy there for Infused, leading his squad once again. However, Nexium not looking too disheartened.
Not at all. So, and Nexium have just got to take that. It's a really unfortunate way to lose around there. I'm pretty convinced, I know if it was me competing, I'd rather get absolutely swept on a round and all of our players lose and it be complete dominance than it come down to a 1 versus 1. It's just a horrible way to lose, knowing that you could have quite easily taken that game.
Yeah, absolutely. However, Marky B on your screen, currently a stellar performance from him, ball in hand. Used up his overclock there, got to the place very, very quickly. Let's see what else he can do.
Yeah, I'm just kind of flicking around these players now because Petey's actually made that early push on the B-bomb site. The bomb is going to go down. They've lost a player in the process, though. All to play for now.
Okay, PT does get taken down. He did get the first bullets into L. He won't be too happy with that. 2 versus 2. L and Rez versus Marky B and Zero. Marky B now left in a 1 versus 2. He's left once again to pick up the slack for his team. 5-0 for his team. Can he make it 6? Doesn't do so. L's going to take him out, and he's going to get the defuse. Oh,
yeah, and that's really unfortunate for Marky. That could have been a huge clutch. It could have meant that he was on 6-0 as well. It would have been brilliant for his team, so really unfortunate for Marky there. But great play nonetheless. 5-1 so far in this Search and Destroy, Momo.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-1 at this current time. All even Stevens. But going into the next round, I believe it will be Nexium on the attack. Be interesting to see whether they'll go for this strong A push once again, or whether they'll change things up.
Yeah, I want to see a lot more of Marky when we're sticking on the attacking side as well. So we've cast over Rez a little bit there, but let's give L some love. 4-1 as well, having a good Search and Destroy himself. So really impressive play from him. And I want to see what L's going to be able to do now.
Yeah, L, he's had a great start to this Search and Destroy. 4-1, like you said. But their star player, Marky B, has been taken down. Currently 5 of the 7 kills coming from him. This is a round which Nexium really needs to take advantage of.
Yeah, they have to try and take this. When it comes down to Search and Destroy, it's all about getting this numerical advantage and then just trading off the kills. And Nexium are doing that absolutely brilliantly. Zero's left all on his own here. 1 versus 4. He's only got the more sniper in hand. And he's going to get shut down there. Not much he could have done.
Yeah, I really wanted him to do that then. When he got that first kill, I was like, go on, you can do this. But to be fair, looks like Rez had a sniper for his own. Thermal attached there. Takes advantage of it. Oh, Zero.
Yeah, and manages to make that kill, so great play from him. It's quite interesting looking at the scoreboard as well. There's 2 players there that are currently on 0-3 for Infused, PT and Urban, both X-Vitality. So Marky B and Zero really flying the flag for Infused at the moment. And as I said, I want to see a bit more of Mark. He's had a great game so far. Really unfortunate not to pull off that clutch in the other round. Look at this aggressive push from him here, Momo.
Yeah, straight onto the A-bomb site. He's going to put that down very, very shortly. Interesting you said about Petey. I mean, I said before the game, he's one of those players which can go like 15 kills in a search and destroy, or he'll drop 0 and 7.
Yeah.
It's just the way it kind of works. But it's just his playstyle. Marky's going to finish him, or it could have been Urban, actually.
It was yeah, very comfortable round for them indeed there, and that is, as you say, Mo, going to mean 2-2, so things brought back even, and another tight game for Nexium, and I just feel so bad for them, because I can't help but feel that this is going to be another close map, and Nexium are just going to lose it at the final hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nexium, like you said, you know, battle it out time and time, but just put 100% effort in all the way through. You know, I want to see them steal a map. I mean, I said it would be 3-1. We're going to have to wait and see. Riri picks up the bomb. Cambo going on a little bit of a flank. Whether he's going to watch it or push it, we don't know yet. Looks like he's sitting back a little bit because Urban will be watching that. And Marky B once again making that first blood.
Great play there from Marky. L just using those grenades. Maybe just trying to get a hit marker to see if there was any players around that area, but doesn't connect with any of them.
Absolutely. A lot slower than the previous round. We saw Infused really, really aggressive on that A bomb site. Nexium gone for a completely different method here. Just sitting off, taking a little bit slower. And L, he's just making his way around the map. It looks like he's communicating with his team, currently disadvantaged numerically against Infused. 2 versus 4.
There we go. He is going to get shut down, which means Riri's all on his own against 4 of Infused, and this does not bode well one bit for him. It looks like Infused will be taking a lead very shortly. Riri does come head-to-head, manages to somehow get that kill. Insane reflexes, but of course there were 3 more Infused players he would have had to find, and Infused take the round. It's straight seeing Dingin and Infused shirt. He just seems to,
I know.
I don't know how he just kind of gets into these organizations there, makes his mark. But people want him. This is the thing. The top players realise that he's this asset that can really benefit them in tournaments.
I mean, I've got to say, as a ex-player, if you like, having a coach, sometimes I felt, you know, it was only at 1 or 2 events, but there was those moments when you're doing well and they're just getting your hype, they're saying how good you are, how well you're performing. It's sometimes not necessarily to actually, you know, physically coach you and tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's more just to be there and to get
support,
you confident. Just really kind of be the voice in your ear to say, that was awesome, keep it up. And I think that's what Dinge does, but on a much larger scale, and props to him. He's very successful and he's been amongst the top teams for a long time.
Yeah, in terms of coaching, I'd say in Europe, he's certainly the most successful Call of Duty coach. Here we go, though, with Marky now going for this plant down. He is going to lock it down. Great start by Infused for this round. They already have 1 player down as Cambo does fall. And Cambo, I mean, I was saying this earlier, if there's 1 player that needs to start stepping it up, it's got to be him. Marky finds 2. Marky finds 3. Oh, no, he's unable to do it. So close. And he knew it himself. You can see there the smiles all around. He didn't pull off the 3-piece, but teammates were there to support. And a big 2-piece nonetheless.
Oh, Marky nearly made the ultimate kind of 3-piece there. It's good to see Petey picked up his first kill of the Search and Destroy as well, so he's off the mark. But it was actually Zero who picked up that final kill there. 4-2 we see going in favor of Infused here. You know, I thought this might be the map which Nexium stole.
Yeah, well, you know, I was saying the hard points. I thought that was the best chance. I didn't really think they'd be able to take these Search and Destroys because as much as every game mode is a team-based game mode, I feel like Search and Destroy is where individual gun skill can shine out more than any other, I suppose. Here we go, though, with L. Oh, and Rez actually finds 2. Riri finds 1. Zero now all on his own, and it looks like Zero is going to be able to actually go down, and Nexium will be able to take this.
Absolutely. Zero left in a 1 versus 4. That is ridiculous. I mean, for him to kind of clutch that was near impossible, and fair play to Nexium. They closed him down, did it as a team, and narrow that gap. 3-4 right now. L and Rez both on 6 kills apiece. Cambo once again, though, we saw him in the hard point, those respawns, really needs to step it up. It looks like he needs to do the same in the Search and Destroy. And to be honest, if he did, he would be in with a fighting chance. Yeah.
And I mean, they're just hanging in there. I know exactly what's going to happen with Nexium. They're going to come close. They're going to have an opportunity to actually take the Search and Destroy, and then Infused is just going to take it from them. And I'm going to feel so bad for them once again because every time I feel like cast over them, it's just the same thing. Let's see if they can disprove me, though. Kills are traded off there in the center of the map. Rez does go down. Infused now 3 versus 2, but great response there from Cambo.
Yeah, Marky B hitting 10 kills. Cambo getting off the mark. Was a 1 versus 2. Now, sorry, was a 2 versus 2. Now a 1 versus 2. Cambo has everything to play for, because if he goes down here, again, much like their previous Search and Destroy we commentated over, you know, 5-3 is a different very ball game, and that's going to be 1 kill. He does get taken down. Didn't see that second player hiding just behind the rock there. Great play from Infused, and that is 5-3. In favour of the guys on Infused there, and it was PT, now level at 4-4, really stepped it up, bringing the victory home.
Oh yeah, great play from him. And, you know, we say this about PT. Maybe we're a little bit too critical and emphasize this point too much, but of course, he can sometimes struggle when it comes to Search and Destroy. He can excel. He is having a distinctly average game, I suppose, for himself here, as are many of the players. The only person that's really stood out for me in the Search and Destroy has been Marky B on that 10-5. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, the guy, you know, he's incredible at what he does, and I think he's got a point to prove, like we previously said. Zero getting taken down, however, Cambo should have got the kill. Urban just turned on him with fantastic precision there. 3 versus 3. Urban potentially could have won this round for his team without even knowing. This is map number 2, potentially game point.
Yeah, and this is good news now for Infused here. If they can just take this round, then it's gonna seal the deal for them.
Okay, so Urban on your screens, 53 seconds left on the round. I'm sure he won't need that to finish this off. 2 versus 2, Ellen Riri versus Urban and Marky B. Marky B still 10-5. I'm sure he's wanting to extend that. Urban on your screens, though, does see Ellen, does take him down. That is going to be game point for the guys here on Infused. I mean, you've got to hand it to them. Again, the same scoreline for Nexium. 6-3 again, losing out on the Search and Destroy. So close yet so far away. And going into this uplink next, which will be on comeback for you guys at home, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see how these guys perform, but 6-3, again, quite interestingly, the exact same scoreline that we saw when Nexium went head-to-head against Millennium, so almost replicating their performance. Great play from Infused there to secure that for the team. But I'm very excited to see the Infused Millennium match, you know, because everything that we've seen so far from these guys has been like a replica of Millennium. So when both of these teams clash, which they will be doing shortly, I just don't know what to expect now.
Absolutely, and I think basically Nexium's been this middle point where they both had a chance to play. They both want to 3-0 them. I mean, Infused won't want to drop a map, because if that's, you know, a case, then, you know, Millennium 3-0'd them, they only 3-1 them. They want to go up against each other. A lot of confidence, 3-0's behind them. Millennium Infused is going to be a fantastic game. However, we still have potentially another 3 maps to play.
We certainly do, and it is going to be comeback uplink that the guys are going to be playing there on the main stage now. So the pressure is really going to be on for them. So, I mean, when it comes to uplink here, Momo, any particular players that we need to be watching out for? I feel like, personally, you're more familiar with the Infused lineup, given that you've teamed with some of them in the past. Yeah. So, having teamed with PT and Marky, etc., who do you feel is going to be the standout player?
I think it's going to be Marky B once again, and I don't think it's going to be on the objective basis. I don't think it's going to be on the fact that it's going to be just pure slaying power. I mean, it looks like he's enjoying himself there on the main stage.
Oh, he's slaying in that hard point.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the same. I think the objective's going to be picked up by the likes of Zero and Urban, and to be honest, PT really needs to step up his objective as well. But I think Marky B's just going to kind of sit back, relax, and just enjoy the ride.
All right, well, we'll see if that is going to be the case at all. Are Nexium going to be able to prevent a 0 map win and 6 map loss streak? Because that will be really disappointing for them after such strong performances so far against some of these top teams. Or will they be able to do something here? Infused may be able to shut this out 3-0, much like Millennium did.
And I'm sure they will want to. It's going to be, you know, to go into your first game, you want a 3-0, you want to be really, really confident going into your next match, potentially against a very big rival. And kicking it off here, it looks like Nexium gets the advantage with 3 plays going down there for Infused. And it looks like the drone was in favor of Cambo, but Urban just saying no. And
they did it, and this was the big push. I mean, when they were playing against Millennium, I say this, Nexium, they practiced this initial push. I wanted to see if Infused were going to be able to deny it there, but they just completely got shut down, and it's an early 2-point capture now for Nexium.
I'll be the first to say there, I completely lost track of that, and I was focused purely on Urban and his slaying, currently 4-0. Lost the fact that Nexium actually made the 2-point play, and that's what it's all about. Riri throwing that out of bounds is going to get the reset on that. Great kill there from him and Rez combining, but Zero says no. He answers back. First kill on the board, but wow, Urban looks like the player to watch on Vita. Infused.
Oh, yeah, it's so easy to get confused, of course. Yeah, they've got to sort these game tags out, guys. Yes, it is, of course, Infused going head-to-head against Nexium here. Urban, though, top, fragging for his team. 6 kills, only 2 deaths. Great start from him, but no points have been converted as of yet. Marky B is looking to change that. You can see here now they're clumping together. They're making this big collective push.
Yes, and I think it's going to work out purely on just the slaying power, the amount of plays that were there for Infused. Just outran the Nexium lineup. However, Zero on your screen is going to try and make a few kills, also going to make a bit of a relay. Marky B and Urban also doing so while PT plays the objective. I think he's going to go for the 2-point play and he's going to convert this. And if they can get a chain reaction going right here, this could be extended very, very quickly. And Nexium are going for the rotation right around the side.
Oh, this is great work by Infused. You can see as soon as they're securing a point, they're actually flooding right back in the exact same way to maintain that map control and deny Nexium any opportunity to stop this. Look at this, Rez is the only person that can stop this push unless the team players spawn up and get back quick. L's done a great job of doing that shutdown too, and it does look like they managed to stop that advance. It did actually, convert into 1.42 now to Infused.
Absolutely, and I mean, Nexium's initial start there, that first 2-point play was fantastic. Too quick even for me to catch up, but I've got to say from that point onward, it really does look like Infused have kind of taken this. And 4-2 is the score at the moment, nearly halfway there in the first round. Rez is going to pick up the drone, he gets shut down, and Zero could answer back, and he's going to go for the 1-point play, makes the throw, and he's going to go in.
Wow, what a throw.
Oh, I mean, that was literally just up and over. There was one player on Nexium there who tried to intercept, but just wasn't quick enough.
I've got to say the Nexium player should have done better, actually. He just jumped up way, way too early to actually try and intercept that. And that is going to be another point now for Infused. They're just going for these safe, secure 1-point plays. Nexium completely driven back into the home spawn. You can see Riri finally spawning out here, trying to make a push around onto that uplink drone. It's going to be Marky B, though, that picks it up again. And there's just nobody that seems to be able to stop these pushes as Infused stride ahead now, 8 points to 2.
Yeah, and this is looking more convincing by the second. I mean, once again, we've just seen them just kind of outplayed, and I think rather than kind of statistically or through the kills, it's more just strategy. I mean, the way that, Infused are kind of set up on this, 10-2, 3 minutes, 10 seconds time to beat there. Are they going to be able to do this? I'm going to put it bluntly and say no. No. But anything can happen. Yeah,
so they've actually gone right ahead. Mercy rule has been applied. It was such dominance there showed by Infused. It's like I said, Momo, as soon as they got those first few points on the board, it was just this constant relay of the uplink drone, and Nexium just couldn't seem to do anything at all to try and stop that or thwart them in the process. So 10-2, Mercy rule applied. That means there's just over 3 minutes left for Nexium to get back into this. Otherwise, it's going to be 0 map wins and 6 map losses.
And don't forget as well, Infused can extend their lead in this 3 minutes. If they put a quick 2-point on the board, it's just getting more difficult by the second for Nexium. However, Urban has the drone in hand. He's trying to do exactly that. Just putting the drone in the base of Nexium, probably putting him under a bit of pressure. They don't even want to retrieve it. And you can see they're in a sticky situation, and that does happen. I'm not sure who actually made the play there. It looks like it was PT, I believe.
Yes, it was 12-2 now the scoreline. Nexium, they got that initial push, that great rush that completely caught Infused by surprise. But aside from that, it's just been 12 points back-to-back for Infused. Look very, very easy. Riri might be able to do something here, actually. Uplink drone has been thrown.
Looks like he was trying to play the 1-2 with himself with the wall.
Yeah, maybe just trying to regenerate some of that armor that it offers you. PT did pick up that uplink drone temporarily. I think it's just a case now, really, for Infused to run this time down. They'll be passively aggressive, I feel. They will still keep making moves, but there's not really any pressure on them. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right there as well. With 2 minutes left, it's pretty much the same when it was 3 minutes. And PD passing there to his teammate, Urban picking up a few kills. Zero with the drone in hand. Just really working as a team, and it's good to see this, and I really don't know how this is going to go. We've already said how strong Millennium are, how strong Vitality are. Looking at this Infused lineup, I would say these have kind of been more convincing than Millennium.
Certainly on this uplink. I mean, you've got to remember that the bio
point as well.
Well, yes, you know what? I'll give you that. They have been. It's different maps. And Millennium, I feel, will play a different game when they go up against Infused, where I feel like Infused are playing the best game here. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the uplink, the Biolab uplink was 4-0 in favor of Millennium.
Yeah.
This is 14-2 already.
I mean, with 1 minute 16, 15, should I say, on the clock, I see this pretty much game over. However, the guys on Nexium, you know, they will play till the very end. You know, you can get a 2-point play probably in about 5-6 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
It's definitely doable, but it's pretty much a miracle which is needed. Zero's going to throw the drone out of play just for a quick reset there to slow things down a little bit.
Brilliant
One
throw.
thing I'm a bit disappointed at is Riri's performance in this map, and this map only over the 6 that they have played, because he's been phenomenal throughout, and I think he just let himself down at the last hurdle.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate as well, and it's a bad way to bow out on the 6th map loss as well, but you know, he's just going to have to take this one on the chin, I feel, because I think regardless, even if he performed and maybe picked up, let's just say 10 more kills, I don't think that scoreline would be much different. 16-2 now is the scoreline in favor of Infused. This has been a huge uplink game, and they're definitely going to be one to watch when it comes to the later uplinks.
Absolutely. Now, with 20 seconds left on the clock, that's going to be game, set, a match. Another 3-0 clean sweep rel here at DreamHack London. Our first 2 games, very convincing. We've seen Nexium and, you know, Rez and Co, if you like, kind of come here, give it their all, and just kind of fall a little bit short. Yeah,
and it's really a shame, because as Reedy said, I mean, Reedy was predicting the 3-0 sweep, didn't quite come off at all, but in the same respect, he was giving Nexium the credit that I suppose they deserve. They are underdogs coming into this, but they put up a great fight. It's really unfortunate they haven't been able to take a map, but hey, let's talk about Infused there. Fantastic play from them. That uplink game was absolutely brilliant to watch. A very quick first half of it, and that sent out a dangerous message to the other opponents.
Yeah, and as you see on your screen there, I think Ice and Infused very, very happy, and it looks like, as you can see there, Zero very content with it. You know, he's not getting excited very early in the tournament.
This is the thing, because they were expecting to win. That's the big difference here. So when you come to the more significant games, I suppose you could argue, when we are going to see Infused and Millennium match against each other, that's when it's really going to tell. That's when you're going to see them getting a lot more hyped at the victory, because it's very difficult to call. You know, I have backed Millennium to take the entire championship, but it could quite easily go either way based off those performances.
Absolutely. What a great game. Riri finishing, unfortunately, 9-18, but we saw him perform very, very well. Urban 22-14, 1.57 KD, but phenomenal throughout. I think Infused have impressed me more at this current stage than Millennium.
All right. Well, you know, we were saying we've already obviously thrown our predictions out. I know you're back in Vitality. We've not seen any Vitality yet. So from what we've seen so far, Momo, Infused, Millennium, do you think they have what it takes to take down Vitality, or are you still backing those guys?
I think they definitely have what it takes. I think it's on the day. It's an on-the-day thing, but I think Vitality just have that little bit more composure. I picked out Vitality as the winner. I picked out Joe as my star player and my MVP of the tournament. However, I've not seen any of them play, and I could be eating my own words when they get knocked out in just a few minutes.
Yeah, we've got to see how they perform on the day. You're absolutely right. So there's a lot of action still to come here at DreamHack. $20,000 on the line as well here. Big prize pool. And considering the team attendance here, it's a really good opportunity, actually, for some of the maybe lesser established teams to actually have a good shot at that.
Yeah, definitely. However, we will be back with you after this quick break.